everybody. So this is the Hallmarkies podcast, and my name is Rachel, and we are so excited. We are here to talk about 2017, the best of the non-Christmas movies from Hallmark, and Amber's here with me to talk about them.
Hi, everybody.
Yep, and we have a special guest. We're so excited. We have the blogger extraordinaire, interviewer extraordinaire, Ruth Hill is here for the second time on our podcast. And you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm Ruth Hill, and I have the blog, My Devotional Thoughts. And in that particular blog, I do a lot of interviews with Hallmark movie stars and some of our favorites. And I watch absolutely everything that's on Hallmark, whether it's my favorite or not. I always make it a point to watch it. That is true.
Yes, she is a truly committed Hallmarkie. Truly committed. And so, yeah, we'll have a link for Ruth's blog in the description section. You want to check that out. And you have to forgive me. I'm a little low. I have a little bit of a low voice this week, but I'm still committed, and we're excited to talk about these films. But before that, we wanted to talk a little bit about this weekend. It was exciting events in the world of Hallmark. The TCA, the Television Critics Association, their Hallmark's big gala event happened, and they had press releases by the droves. and so there was a lot of fun announcements, exciting, and so we thought we'd just talk a little bit about some of them that came up. One of my things I was most excited about is we get season 3 of Chesapeake Shores. Yay. So Andrew Francis has employment for another year, so that's exciting. You guys glad that they're bringing back Chesapeake Shore?
Absolutely. I am very, very excited and hoping that this means that they will also have the convention that they've been wanting to, the Chesapeake convention they've been talking about. Maybe that'll really happen. According to what I saw, Barbara Niven is supposed to be she's got some people who are trying to get the preliminary work done on that, is my understanding. So.
Well, I feel like with a little bit more notice, we'll be at the Chesapeake Shores thing. I mean, we didn't even know about the Hallmarkies. I mean, the one called the Heart Convention until it was happening. Give me 2 weeks notice and I'm there.
Yeah. Right. The ticket will be purchased. I mean, I grew up if they really did it, which they probably wouldn't, but if they really did it in Maryland, I grew up in Maryland, so I have tons of contacts over there. So that would be easy for me. But that's cool. I didn't know that. And so I'm excited about that. Was there any other news that they announced that you were excited about?
Well, I'm definitely excited about all the mystery announcements that they made with Brendan Elliott, Lacey Chabert with their crossword mystery. I think something like that it's called. Yeah. And so I'm excited about that. The Pena Vegas are going to have a mystery series. Garage Sale Mystery. It's going to have the month of August as Garage Sale Mystery Month. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, Brendan Elliott and Lacey Chabert are going to be having their own mystery. Everybody gets a mystery series this year, it seems like.
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Bill Abbott, he was doing his best impression of Oprah, and he was like, you get a mystery series, and you get a mystery series.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, and then I was actually excited too. Debbie Gibson's coming back for the sequel, Summer of Dreams. Debbie Gibson and Pascal Hutton and all those people. Summer of Dreams was like a couple summers ago. They did that, and so they're doing a sequel to that. That was announced.
Excellent.
So that's pretty cool.
Cool. I haven't seen that one. I'll just check it out.
I highly recommend it. It is fun. It is lots of fun. Another fun role, Pascal Hutton, you see her in a completely different role from Rosemary. And it's fun. And Debbie Gibson, I mean, she's awesome. It's really good. So yeah, definitely watch the first one so that you can be ready, because I think the second one's coming this summer. So
I'll be ready. I'll be ready to go. Yeah, and they announced, we already kind of knew that The Good Witch was coming in April, but they had a press statement about that. And so that's exciting. And I've been doing some catch up because I was a little behind on the TV show. I watched the movies. But so that was fun. And yeah, I think they also announced that there's going to be 90 plus movies again this year, which is just amazing.
Yeah, it is.
So, whew. All right, well, great. So we'll get on to our list. So these were just the rules of this list. It could be anything on either channel that wasn't a Christmas movie. It was just our qualifications. We kind of, originally we had put out a poll and we'd included Christmas movies, but we kind of changed because we just covered them so thoroughly with our podcast with malls that we thought, but we'll just be repeating ourselves. So let's talk about non-Christmas. And so that's kind of what we did. And the pretty much almost all the responses that we got were all postables anyway.
I know. Yeah.
So yeah. And so let's just start. I'll start with number 10 and we'll just give a brief explanation of why we picked what we picked.
Okay.
And it should be fun. So my number 10 is Harvest Wedding. And I'm not that big a fan of the wedding movies because I find a lot of times the brides are sort of insufferable and obnoxious. And, it's like they think that just getting married is somehow you got carte blanche to be selfish and horrible. And but this one, they have Andrea Brooks, who's lovely and wonderful as the bride.
Yeah.
And she's great and very low maintenance. And it's funny because the two kind of bride movies that I liked this year were Destination Wedding, which I have at 11, and Harvest Wedding, which I have at 10. And they both have Andrea Brooks as the bride. So I guess she's my thing.
Right.
But anyway, and Jill Wagner is so great in this. She's really, I feel like this is a movie about grown-ups falling in love, which is nice. They're mature and they actually have conversations and it doesn't feel too contrived. She's kind of funny about her like visions of the wedding or whatever, which are kind of funny. But it also I love how the chef is like, my whole restaurant just burnt down, but I'm gonna come anyway. It's so funny. But anyway, it's just really cute. And I like the fact that they both like stay committed to their careers and they both encourage each other in their careers. Because I kind of hate it in these movies when the girls is just expected, usually the girls is just expected to abandon everything because she found her high school boyfriend again. And he ended up kind of moving to the city. That was a cool ending. I thought it was really good. Yeah. And so yeah, that's why I have it at 10. Okay. So what did you have, Ruth, as number 10?
Well, I actually had Eat, Play, Love as number 10.
Okay.
And now mine are going to be probably different because I've interviewed so many of the people. And so for this one, yes, it was great getting to see the Bionic Woman. I grew up watching the Bionic Woman, so to see her coming back and the $6 Million Man, to see them, that was kind of cool for me. But that was not the most exciting thing for me. The most exciting thing for me is that was Jason Cermak. That was his first lead role in a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
And for him, I've been like following his career since I saw him in When Calls the Heart.
Yeah.
And I know how desperately he wanted to have a lead role. And he was so sad that he didn't get to come back on When Calls the Heart. Back we talked about it, how, well, now the town has a doctor, so there's no way you're coming back. And Paul Green's there. It's like, and he's like, yeah, it's okay. I heard about that. It's all right. And, I've seen him in the Fixer Upper mysteries, and we talked about that stuff. But finally, to see him in this lead role, and then you had Jen Lilly, and I had just interviewed her not so long ago, and
jealous.
And that was so great. Then to see her, and it just was. So for me, I was so excited that Jason finally had this lead role. He did it so well because he was so nervous about it. He was incredibly nervous about it when I interviewed him. And he just like, I hope people are like it. I hope that I can come back and do more. And I said, oh, you were great. It was awesome just to see him get to interact with Lee Majors, and because he spent some time with him on set, and it was so that's why I chose that one. And I had the cute dogs. I mean,
Yeah.
I did love the dogs. I am a sucker for those dog movies sometimes. So that's why I chose it.
Heads up, it's a lot higher up on my list, so I love it too.
Yeah, it's also a lot higher up on my list as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, we
You're
love
like,
it.
oh, our lists are going to be different, and I'm going to say, well, I mean, not too different.
It was one of the first ones that Amber and I really both liked a lot on the podcast.
Oh, good. Okay. See,
Yeah.
I thought I was going to have to convince you guys. Okay. That's
No, we were convinced the moment they appeared on screen.
okay. Good. That's good.
So Amber, what did you?
People liking him? Well, don't worry anymore, sir.
Yeah.
Right.
It sounds to me like you've made all 3 top 10 lists.
He nailed it. He nailed it. So Amber, what's your number 10?
So my number 10 stars Hallmarkies hunk Andrew Walker and is Love Struck Cafe.
Oh, okay.
Really?
And I really liked it. I liked pretty much almost all of the Harvest movies a ton. And it's fun, it's cute, and it's got my favorite bad guy in it. So, I mean, what's not to like?
And I thought it was her debut, Sarah Jane Morris.
Yeah.
She did a good job, I think.
Yeah, she did. She did a really great job. Have you ever interviewed Casey Manderson, Ruth?
No, I have asked. I keep asking, and for some reason, I'm not making connection with him. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, he's in every Hallmark movie.
I know.
He just doesn't have time. He's just like, I'm constantly filming. Sorry.
We'll have to do
Right.
We'll have to hashtag it something like Casey interviewed by Ruth or something. I don't know. We'll figure something clever.
Yeah.
9 on my list is The Perfect Catch. And this is Andrew Walker.
So it's an Andrew Walker back-to-back moment.
Yeah. And Nikki DeLoach. And they had been in a movie before, so they already had, I think, pretty good chemistry.
Right.
I liked that it was the man who was coming back to the small town instead of always the woman from the city. He is like this disgraced baseball star. I liked him interacting with the kid, was really cute. I liked, I liked their chemistry together. I liked how he had to made his pros and cons list. And he didn't just abandon his career for a girl. He had come up with a new solution, a new career that was going to make him happy. And I thought that was cool. And I just thought it was really romantic and it was sweet. And I thought the ending was really good. So yeah, I had it 9.
Yeah. That one was actually number 11 for me. That was a really close. That was a really close one.
One of those harsh cuts.
I almost had it at number 10. It was kind of like going back and forth because I love Andrew Walker, but
is there a woman alive who doesn't love Andrew Walker?
Just women who haven't heard of him. They're the only ones.
Yeah.
Even the women who haven't heard of him, probably on some amniotic level where they were imbued with a love of Andrew Walker.
Yeah, probably.
He is, and he is lovely to interview. Sometimes can be hard to get a hold of, but is lovely, just lovely to interview. So yeah, he's great.
Lovely in all ways.
Yes. Yeah. I would agree. Yeah. Okay.
So what was your 9, Ruth?
Well, my number 9, and this is a hard one for me because I absolutely could not leave this out of the number 10. I struggled probably with 9, 10, and 11 for a long time, but it was All of My Heart in Love. And there's a reason why. Now, I'm not saying it was the absolute best, but this goes back to I was part of that 2-year thing where the push for the fans to get a sequel. Yeah. And so I could not leave this one out. I really couldn't because I know how long and hard when we first started asking Hallmark for a sequel, I literally was making collages every single day, every single weekday, and sending them to Brennan. And so Brennan Elliott was retweeting me constantly, and I get really excited if he not only retweeted it, but he'd like it too, because I think, okay, this time I did a really good collage because he not only retweeted it, he liked it, and I get really excited about that. It doesn't take much to excite me, I know.
Yeah.
but that one, and I know I'm not saying it was the perfect sequel, but there were some. I did like the secondary storyline also with the gal coming in that was
the blogger.
Well, falling for the handyman in town. It's like she came in, she was going to write the bad review, and I really liked that secondary storyline, and I love the fact that almost everybody came back, because in sequels they do not always come back. They have to they replace them or for whatever reason. And I know also what hurt that movie so much was that one of their executive producers that had worked on it passed away unexpectedly. That was, so it was set to do sooner than this man passes away suddenly, it was his vision, part of his vision, and they had to regroup. So right. And I love Brennan and Lacey. I do not deny that I absolutely love seeing them in anything. And so there were, it was not perfect by any means, but I could not leave it out. So that's
understandable. Totally.
I mean, in that movie's defense, when I first watched it, I liked it well enough. And then the more I talk about it, the more I pick at things. And so I'm not gonna talk about it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I know.
I liked it just fine. I thought it was cute. It was right in the middle of the pack for me as far as movies this year. But I totally get it. You have a personal connection.
I mean, it's not like your baby, but it's kind of like you're its godmother or like its aunt or something.
Right.
We just got to get you guys we got to get you this movement. Like, now that we know you have such power, we've got to get you working on getting Andrew Francis a lead role.
Yeah, we need you to campaign for Andrew Francis getting a lead role and more Paul Campbell.
What Andrew Francis needs to do is he needs to actually do the interview he promised me a year and a half ago. And I don't we have been around and around and around and around. I don't even want to tell you how many messages we have exchanged back and forth. And it is constantly rescheduling and rescheduling and rescheduling. So we're talking, we're almost going on 2 years here.
Oh my God.
Has he not realized that the key to getting a lead role is being best friends with you, Ruth? Come on, Andrew Francis.
I mean, we should just tell them I worked for, like, they got a whole movie made just on their tweets. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's right.
So, Amber, what was your number 9?
Oh, my number 9. Oof, I forgot what we were doing. My number 9 is Darrow and Darrow, which I really loved. It was so good. It was probably the thing that I super loved most about it is that, unlike almost every other mystery, she had a reason to be investigating. She wasn't just like a nosy baker or like, I really, really appreciated that because, I mean, I like the murder mystery. I'm like, why don't you just join the police force for Pete's sake? So anyway, I really liked it. It was fun. The whole cast was amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. And
the dialogue was so good.
I think it's going to be on other people's lists.
Yes. The dialogue was so good in that, I think. And it was just, they had such good chemistry. And Wendy Malick was like perfect casting, I think, in that. It's a good choice. Okay. So number 8 for me is Signed, Sealed, Delivered from Higher Ground. This is this was my diving in for my first experience in Signed, Sealed, Delivered. I still haven't watched all of them. But
Rachel. I actually am super excited for you to do that because then we can finally have our Signed, Sealed, Delivered.
And people, did you see Twitter today? It was like just so many, everybody wants it so bad. So we got to do it. And so I've got to get it together and watch all of them. And but this was so cute. I mean, I loved pretty much everything about it. I loved the Katrina storyline. That romance was so good. I loved Rita and Norman for getting engaged was so cute.
I know, and you know what's so sad though? You don't even have the background context of why it's amazing.
Yeah,
and
that's really true. Well, and then the end with Shane and what's the Eric Mabius? I don't even know his name. What's the Eric Mabius' character's name?
Oliver.
Oliver. Okay, that was so cute too at the end with them. I thought adorable.
Yeah, you're just so. It's so unfair because I've been like dying over these romances and non-romances for years, and here you are just like jumping in and everything's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I can tell that that's true. But it was great. It definitely was, because I had watched the first one I ever watched was the Christmas one for the Instagram post. So I watched that, and then I watched because try to watch every single one I do an Instagram post about. And then I watched this one, and then I watched the vase one. And that one wasn't quite as good, but the bar was set pretty high with those two, I think. Because the Christmas one's really good too. And I like how they just very subtly work in themes of faith. Like it's just so, like it's so hard to do that and write faith-based properties, faith-based films, and make them be subtle and something anybody could enjoy, but it's there. So I think it's one of the most impressive faith-based properties I've ever seen. So
definitely.
So I have that at 8.
I don't want to spoil my thoughts for our podcast, but I feel like one of the reasons why they're so successful at doing that is because they're not making it be like, oh, here's this faith-based storyline that we've pigeonholed into the movie.
Yeah.
It's very organically just Oliver being himself.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Agreed.
Yep.
So, Ruth, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is Darrow and Darrow.
Ah!
Yep. Yep. That one, I mean, really for all the reasons, it was so nice. That one actually aired while I was in Vancouver, so I had to come back and watch it.
Oh, yeah.
And my mom said, it's really good, you're going to love it. And so I already know if my mom can be a harsh critic when it comes to these Hallmark. She really can be. She'll sit there and watch it, but she can be a very harsh critic. And for her to say it was good, I knew it was going to be good. And oh yeah, it was outstanding. And it was so lovely to see Lila Fitzgerald, who plays the girl.
Yeah.
She's one that I've been following her career along, and so neat to see her in that role. And then exciting to see that they're already, the second one's on its way too.
Hey, Amber, what's your number 8?
So my number 8, I guarantee you is going to be higher up on Rachel's list. It is A Dash of Love, starring the impeccable Jen Lilly and Brendan Penny.
It's so good.
It's just a good one.
Yeah.
I don't even know really what to say other than they were adorable and the storyline was cute and I loved his parents.
Yeah. Oh, you loved his parents. Because his parents were the one thing, we'll talk about it later, but like his parents were the one thing that I was kind of wrestling with because, all right, we'll talk about it later. But anyway, I struggled with them actually, but it is such a cute movie. It's adorableness. Yeah.
It's really good.
So good choice. Okay, so number 7 for me, you guys will laugh, is Darrow and Darrow.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good.
It's so good. I love Tom Cavanaugh. I loved Trading Christmas is one of my favorite Hallmark movies. And he's just so charming and so sweet and so likable. And oh my gosh, like their dialogue when they're like debating about whether they're going to go on a date or not, or whether is so cute. I loved it. And and like how they talk about how we really need a guidebook for this. We need to, like, I know I need a guidebook. Like it's hard. And I did really love Winnie Malik, and I thought she was great. Like this is like a part born for her, and her sort of like where I felt like in Engaging Father Christmas they didn't use her cattiness to its advantage and to make it funny. Whereas I feel like in this case they used it perfectly. Like it was just right. So she kept her likable, but she's just kind of catty and fun. And so so I have Darwin 7. Yeah. So Ruth, what's your 7?
It is actually Concrete Evidence, a fixer-upper mystery.
Oh. So full disclosure, I have not seen any of the fixer-upper mysteries yet.
Oh my goodness.
Either have I.
You are missing out because Jewel is absolutely amazing. Now, I knew her, I knew Jewel as a singer. Didn't really know her as an actress or anything like that. And I have not interviewed her at all, but I have talked with people. Well, of course, Jason Cermak has got to work with her. There's been others that have worked with her that I've gotten to talk to. And the thing about Jewel is she is very, on set, she is very aware of the fact that she is still learning as far as acting. Her acting coach is right with her on set, John Cassini, who's also has been in lots of Hallmark things. If you looked him up, you'd say, "Oh, I recognize this guy." Okay. And so he is there on set with her to help her if she needs, because she realizes that acting is not her first thing. But she is amazing. Mm-hmm. You see her, she fits this part incredibly. Colin Ferguson is I only first knew him from Cedar Cove, and I thought he did a great job with his character. I did not like his character necessarily because that was the 3rd season and it was a strange season for Cedar Cove, very strange season, which I won't go into. But it was nice to see him come back in a role that was just meant for him, absolutely meant for him. The way they interact is fantastic. And it's just, I'm so glad that there are more coming because it's just great cast. Again, just it's a little thing. Even with that one, there's some things that happen at the end that you don't expect. Mm-hmm. So it's a mystery, but there's just this thing, and all of a sudden, it's you just didn't see that coming. You didn't know it would end. So yes, I highly recommend them. I mean, I would say that probably about any of them, but this one especially. It's such a different take on it because she's the one who's the construction type person. Yeah. She's the one who's she's the handy lady, and when he first meets her, he's looking for the head of the company and has no idea that it's female. He's expecting a guy to be the head of the company. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Colin Ferguson, so I have every intention of watching it. Okay. But I love him from Eureka, that was on Sci-Fi.
Yeah, right.
So what's your number 7, Amber?
Oh, my number 7 it stars the great Elsie. It is Moonlight in Vermont.
Oh, I thought this would be hot. That would be higher for you.
I know. I really love Carlo Marx so much. But it just ended up. It's just where the cookie crumbled. Because I also super love the ones that are a little higher.
Yeah,
so
cool.
But no, it was so cute. And he's just so handsome. I don't even know if he could possibly be in a movie that gets less than like a 3.5 because he's so adorable. So I really liked it. It was fun.
Yeah, it's higher up on my list. It's really cute. It's really good. And Jason Cernak's in that as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. So my number 6 is Lovelocks. And I really liked Rebecca Romaine and Jerry O'Connell. Of course, they were a real life couple, so they had chemistry. And I thought they were really good. And I also liked the relationship that her daughter has. And I thought it really built very organically. It just felt like a natural sort of relationship, and it's written by Neil and Tippy Dabrowski, who are such great writers. They're some of my favorite Hallmark movies, And you have the magic of Paris, and it's very, I mean, I love things that are like uber, lay on the romance really thick. So that's probably why I like this. And I liked her, like, her painting instructor guy was really good, I thought. And I liked the way they handled the locks and getting the lock off the bridge, because they're going to just, they're removing them all, finding them, and I don't know, I just really liked it. So I have it at 6.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It didn't, make my top 15, but it was pretty good. Yeah. I'll give you that. I got very picky as I got higher.
Well, you're forced to, really. I mean, you really are. So what's your number 6, Ruth?
My number 6 is An Uncommon Grace. Yeah, that one was, now I did not read the books, I've not read the books, but the whole idea of having a mystery mixed with the Amish and the English community, all mixing together, was really fascinating. I love anything that has this Amish anyway. I'm always kind of a sucker for the Amish romances.
So you would be super into the Amish revenge from what is it? Marry Me at Christmas?
If you read Marry Me at Christmas, in the book, the movies that the movie star is in are called Amish Revenge and Amish Revenge 2. And they changed it for the movie. And so we were laughing really. And I said, because that runaway romance that you told me to watch was really fun. So Trevor Donovan, I think, is now he's understudying whatever for preparing to be in Amish Revenge now. Because runaway romance is all in the Amish.
Yeah. Well, so that one, anyway. and the other little thing about that is, I ended up interviewing the guy who was the murderer, and I didn't know it.
Oh, it's close to being murdered, Ruth.
Yeah, it's the second time it had happened. It was actually almost becoming I take the third time it had happened. It happened 3 times in a row where I interviewed somebody, and in this particular guy's case, I did not know the actor. It was my first time even looking up the actor. I was shocked that he was willing to give me an interview, and because I didn't know anything he'd been in, and I just knew that he was going to be in this upcoming movie, and he couldn't say much about his movie, and and then I'm watching it and I'm thinking, you're not going to be the bad guy, are you? Please don't be the bad guy. Don't. And all my friends are saying, I bet you interviewed the murderer again, Ruth. And,
that's funny. He did a good job keeping it secret.
He did an excellent job. I didn't even suspect him at all when we were chatting. With the other 2, I suspected them because I already had said, I started off the other 2, I know you're going to be the murderer. And they were like, oh, no, I'm not really the murderer. And so they kind of threw me off. But
yeah, that's funny.
So if you guys haven't seen the movie, I take it.
I have not.
I have not. No.
Okay. I have a feeling you guys would really like it because the mystery is very strong in that one. If you like mystery, it and the romance is really good too.
Sorry.
You have a kind of catty Amish woman who's trying to steal the guy. I mean, he's making it clear.
Yes.
This is my man.
Yes.
But the thing is, the woman who's not Amish is in love with the Amish guy, and she's standing up to that woman like, this is, it's like, I love him and he doesn't want to stay Amish and he wants to change their traditions, but she's like, no, this is, and she gets really catty. I was impressed with that actress's performance, even though it was a small role.
You sold me on it because
you did.
I love a good naughty girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's for Hallmark, it's I mean, I wouldn't call it violent, but I mean it's gonna keep you on the edge of your seat.
Ooh. Okay. Good. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
So what's your number 6, Amber?
Oh, okay, so my number 6 is Signed, Sealed, Delivered, Home Again.
Oh, okay.
Which, it's really good. Everything about Signed, Sealed, Delivered is the best. Everyone knows this. Just ask Twitter. So I don't even really know what to say other than I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't quite as good as the Katrina one. I have it at 14, so I still have it pretty high. So it was good. Are you a Postable fan, Ruth?
Oh yeah, oh definitely, yeah. But honestly, I'm with you. The Home Again one was not as high on my list. Not that it wasn't somewhere towards the top, but not in my top 10. The Home Again one, and that's nothing against it. It's just.
I should say I have The Good Witch Spellbound at 13 because everyone knows I'm Team Catherine Bell, but she didn't quite make the list, but she was pretty close.
Right.
Okay, so number 5 for me is Eat, Play, Love. And this, I think, what is cool about this movie is that it took a lot of sort of tropes and then, but like did them in a sort of fun new way that made it entertaining. Like, for instance, the makeover scene. And how many times have we seen that in a romantic comedy where the girl goes and gets a makeover and then the guy's like, ooh, Whereas, like, in this case, she gets the makeover and she's, like, totally terrible at being pretty. And, like, he's kind of like, what is this? Yeah. I like the old one better. So that was sort of refreshing and it was sort of a fresh take on it. And she's so adorable and he's great. And I loved Lee Majors and Lizzie Wright were so fun. And the way they were kind of like overseeing everything and like kind of making their little commentary about these two youngins. Yeah. And I liked the fact that like his girlfriend was like somewhat reasonable. Like she wasn't like a total shrew. Like she was within the realm of like believability. And I mean, I'm not even that huge of a dog person, but like it worked. And I don't know, I just really thought it was really fun.
Yeah.
So
that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. One. So what do you have at 5, Ruth?
I have Haley Dean Mystery, Dating is Murder.
Oh, I didn't realize you were so a big fan of the mysteries.
Oh, yeah. We are huge fans of the mysteries. Not that we don't like the romances, but we really do go for the mysteries.
Cool.
And with the Haley Dean ones, this was the most recent of the Haley Dean ones that was out. It was, I don't know if it was fall of last year or something, but what I think with that one, I felt as though, in my personal opinion, it was the edgiest mystery film I'd seen on Hallmark Movie Mysteries. That was just my opinion. I felt that it really pushed some boundaries, not where you felt uncomfortable, but it really pushed some things and you dealt with a few things. Well, and it's Nancy Grace. So she's going to be one, I think it is totally awesome that she is in every single one of the movies, the Haley Dean movies. She always makes an appearance, and it's always a very memorable role. It's not like she's just in the background where you have to search for her. When she's there. She makes her little cameo appearances are very memorable. But I think the idea of using a dating app, that was kind of how the murders were happening, and I really love Kelly Martin. I love her.
She's the best.
I love Viv Leacock. You guys know who he is?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, I would look him up definitely. He has been in several Hallmark movies. Actually, he's been in several of the mystery ones. Has appeared in a lot of them.
This guy. Yeah, I looked him up. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. He and Kelly Martin. I interviewed Viv before the Haley Dean ones premiered, and they have a relationship like Lethal Weapon. They have that relationship. They both have that in common, that they love Lethal Weapon. And so they create their interactions kind of based on that.
That's so funny.
She's like the Martin Riggs character, and he's the Murtaugh character.
Nice.
And you really can see it when you go in knowing that. You can really see this connection that they have, and I love the fact that they have that, and the fact that I mean, I'll be honest, it's nice that there's that kind of connection between a Caucasian woman and an African, black, whatever I guess I don't know if it's really African American since he's Canadian. I don't know how that exactly works, but it's nice to have that diversity because you see the both of them together and you think these two don't necessarily look like they would really interact, shall I say? They don't. Hallmark doesn't normally throw characters like that together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's neat to see that diversity because a lot of people always think I have people who think I don't care about diversity, and I do. I actually do care about diversity.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah. I know some people don't. I know some people go off on it, but in this case, it's just nice that Hallmark was willing to pair them up, and it worked so well.
Yeah.
And so, anyway.
Yeah. I couldn't watch that one because I basically have like murder hypochondria, and I couldn't watch it and still go on like online dates.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I can't watch that one. I'm just because otherwise I would just like I would be single forever. I mean, not that I won't still be single forever, but I still gotta try.
Okay.
Yeah.
But even the trailers, I was like, ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. Makes sense. So Amber, what's your number 5?
So my number 5, if you'll remember, I had Signed, Sealed, Delivered, Home Again as my number 6. So my number 5 is Signed, Sealed, Delivered, Higher Ground.
Ah, okay.
I know you guys were like, oh, well, Higher Ground is better. And I agree, but I don't want to spoil my list.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
We've already discussed that. We don't need to keep
It's
going.
so cute.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So my number 4 is Moonlight in Vermont. And how many movies do we see this year of women from the city going back to the country and figuring out who they were and what matters? This is the one that did it the best, in my opinion. A reason why she's in the city because of her mother and because of the attachment of the memories that she has with her mother in the apartment, and there's a reason why she's estranged from her dad because he sold the apartment, and so there's like heart there, and there's things they have to work out, and they do, and they grow, and I really liked the and you have a fake fiance, which is one of my, or fake boyfriend, whatever, which is really fun, and they do a good job with it.
We just need to still stand up and shout, Hallmark, what were you thinking, having an entire Christmas without a fake boyfriend or fake fiance?
I know. This was like all we got this year. It's like really.
I've never been more upset at Hallmark at Christmas.
Yeah, it's just so fun, so ridiculous. And sorry. So it's so fun. It's so ridiculous. And like, I don't know, just all the fun scenes of like them like trying their own maple syrup and silliness and her trying to get the land from that grumpy old man was like classic and fun. And I like the fact that Fiona Broome and Jason Cermak have like this second little relationship, and they end up kind of swapping houses at the end, which was super cute. Yeah. And so, yeah, I had number 4.
Oh,
yeah.
So that's how you do City Girl reformed, right?
Okay.
So, what's your number 4, Ruth?
Well, my number 4, I had to put this in somewhere because of a personal connection, and so that's why it is where it is.
Okay.
Garage Sale Mystery, Murder Most Medieval.
Nice.
Okay.
I put that at number 4 because I will tell you that the reason that became like my favorite garage sale mystery this year is because my best friend is in that one, and that's why. Because in the role of the guy that does all, he does all the jousting, and he's that particular actor, Sebastian Spence, is like one of my best friends, and he had not been in Hallmark since Cedar Cove, so it was nice to see him get to return. And his part was so much fun to watch him do that, since I've actually met him and all that. There's just that personal connection that happens. And in addition to that, it was something, I mean, I can go away and say, okay, you had Aaron Buckles playing a part that was so opposite, so different from what you normally see him as. I mean, it just, him, and then you had, it wasn't Casey in that one also?
Yes, he was.
Butler, yeah. So you had that, and that little exchange where he says to his butler, if you kill me, you can have the house. There's this little exchange that happens between them, and it was so cute to see that. And then for my friend to be coming in at the end and save the day. It's like, everybody thinks everybody's gonna get killed, and he comes from out of nowhere and saves the day. So that was cool. I was really excited when I saw the end, because I didn't know how it's gonna end like that. So
cool.
That's why I love Garage Sale Mystery anyway. But once I found out that he actually, I happened to know he was offered the role, and he did some consideration, does he take the role? Does he not? And I'm like, you're taking the role. You have to take the role. You don't have a choice. This is Garage Sale Mystery, Lori Loughlin. Take the role. I mean, I think he'd already decided he was going to take it, but it's like, I'm taking this whole thing. I probably sent him a super long message about, you are taking this role. You have do not take this role. I laid it on very thickly. I know.
That's so funny.
So that's my number 4.
Good.
Okay. I like it. It's a good choice. Okay, so my number 4 stars the impeccable Jen Lilly. And it's Harvest Love.
Oh, that surprised me. Interesting. Okay.
I really liked it. It was fun seeing Ryan Peavy on the show, and the little boy was adorable. And I think I just super loved watching it, because this was the first one that I live tweeted. And it was just like so exciting live tweeting.
Okay.
I think it helped informed how much I love it, but I really did. I loved it a ton. It was awesome. And I mean, it does the, girl coming back to the small town, but I don't care if they do the trite things over and over.
Right.
That doesn't bother me.
Sure to tell the director and writer Christy Will, if you have not, how much you like that movie.
Oh, I will.
That's her little baby. I mean, that's really very much. She not only directed it, but she co-wrote it.
Yeah, I was a fan.
Personal story to her, and I know that. Because she told me that ahead of time, that this was how much this one meant to her, since she had co-written it and directed it. And she's if you don't know who, hopefully if you don't know who Christy Will is, I mean, she is phenomenal. She works with Lacey Chabert a lot, and she works with she's really good, and Hallmark does feature her a lot, and that's nice to see a woman in that role who's not just directing but co-writing. So kind of cool.
That one was really good. I have it at 12, but I figured I already had 2 Jen Lillys, so I couldn't go overboard.
So Christy Will, she directed A Dash of Love, Eat, Play, Love, and Harvest Love. So, you want to talk about Love and Jen Lilly?
Yeah. And she connected big time with Jen Lilly. Oh, yeah.
Well, she's just the best. Like, I seriously might watch Jen Lilly on on Days of Our Lives. I love her so much. I think I'd even watch a soap for her. I think she's so great.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, good choice. I really like that one too. Good chemistry, and it's just so fun.
So fun.
So for me, my number 3 is The Birthday Wish. And I really liked this a lot. I thought that Jesse Schramm was really great in it. And I like Luke McFarlane was so good in it. I like the fact that they worked together, but they were like equals, but they were like, I don't know. I really liked that she was like good at her job. She wasn't some kind of like ice queen, which I hate when they do that. And, but like, I just thought it was a clever concept. The idea that she gets this like little glimpse of her future.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like she's like a family for Christmas where she like is occupying this alternate dimension. She just gets this brief little glimpse of what like her life could be like, and she just starts to think about it and think about her relationship and what she really wants out of life. And I really thought that they had great chemistry together, and I really liked it. It had a great epilogue.
Yeah.
in the end, which was great. And I thought it was really well written and just well executed. Peter DeLuise, who also did Jesse and Harvest Moon, which I also like.
Right.
He's a really good director. And so I just thought it was creative and yeah, I liked it. So that's why I have a 3.
Well, you need to get the writer Julie Sherman-Wolf. Have you had her in your program?
No, Rachel loves Julie Sherman-Wolf.
She's a genius.
Yeah, absolutely. She is. I've interviewed her 3 times, and you need to have her on the program because she is phenomenal. She is. And
no, the fact that Finding Santa was watchable is completely because of her. Like, she managed to just squeeze every last inch of like anything that was in that script. I just was so impressed. Like, it's one thing to write a script when you have like this amazing concept and these amazing actors and blah blah blah, but when you have that ridiculous concept and that ridiculous story and you're able to make it watchable, you're really good at your job.
But yeah, I'm not sure if Rachel loves Andrew Francis or Julie Sherman-Wolf. And so that's saying something.
To be clear, Nina will always have my heart.
Oh, okay.
Hallmark writers.
She's pretty fantastic too. Yeah.
Nina, and then Julie, and then the Dabrowskis. And if the Dabrowskis come on the show, then maybe we'll see. But because I do love, they've done 2 of Paul Campbell's movies, Dabrowskis, and so they're good.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if you know this, Ruth, but we are major Paul Campbell fans.
Yes, I did know that. Yes.
So anyway, yeah, I thought this was very clever and just something fresh, something new, and I liked it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
good.
What did you have at 3, Ruth?
Well, again, because of my personal connections, and that's always a part of things. My favorite wedding was actually
okay,
and that is because whenever I think of that movie, now I love the movie because I love Paul Green. I honestly, and I loved the banter between him and Maggie Lawson. I thought it worked really, really well. I also enjoyed that Peter Benson actually got married and wasn't a bad guy for a change. You know, he wasn't like that was nice.
He's a nice guy in the Aurora Teagarden movies.
Well, yes. Oh, I agree. Yeah, I know. But usually when they cast him in the romance movies, he's usually the loser boyfriend. And
it was touch and go there for a while. You're like, what is this guy doing? Like, where is he? Like,
I always knew. I was like, he's dancing.
At a certain point, you gotta like own up.
Right. But
in Hallmark movies, whenever the guy is off doing something secret, he's learning how to dance.
He's learning how to dance. But with that movie, the thing that was so neat for me, and this goes aside from the movie, but it's whenever I think of the movie, I always think of getting a message from Paul Green from Costa Rica saying we need to do an interview. And I'm thinking, you're in Costa Rica. Why are you contacting me? And why are we going to do an interview while you're on this retreat in Costa Rica? And we have this interview while he's literally driving down the road in Costa Rica. That's where we had the interview. And the whole point that he recorded a special video for one of the fans that asked a question. He recorded this song because the question was, what song would you have at your, if you were to sing a song at a wedding, what song would you have? And so he was on the beach of Costa Rica, recorded this video recording, and it's still on YouTube if you guys haven't seen it. I don't know if you guys have.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, if you go to Paul Green's YouTube, you will find that there's this song what was recorded this summer on the beach of Costa Rica, and he sings the song. He dedicated it.
He did that on your interview?
He did it. It was as a result of the interview. So yeah, he did it at a separate time. But then I kind of introduced it through my interview. And when the fan that it happened, I mean, she almost fainted when she realized that he'd done this for her. And then when she met him at the Hardy's convention, she was just like, she was all those things, and she couldn't thank me enough that I brought it about, and it's like, so that was all those things. And I encouraged Paul to do his first Facebook Live, which he did from Costa Rica again. It was just like, I have all this, it was really cool. So all those things, that's always my problem, is when I make these kinds of lists, it's always about my personal connections. It's always so much more than the movie.
But that one, because again, I'm not that high on a lot of these bride ones, but that one was pretty cute.
Yeah.
So
it was cute. Yeah.
So what do you have at 3, Amber?
So for number 3, I have another Jen Lilly Eat, Play, Love. For those of you keeping track at home, that is me with the 3 Jen Lilly movies.
So maybe you're the super fan.
I didn't know this until I was doing my list, but apparently I'm the person who likes Jen Lilly the most.
Yeah, I think so.
She's the best.
Yeah.
She's the best. Oh my gosh.
I mean, and not just Jen Lilly, but Christy Will.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Really good. It was impeccable. I was even able to love it despite whatever her weird hair was doing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was so good. I mean, I still love that movie despite the fact that I am afraid of dogs and don't like them. And I was like, oh, I love this movie and dogs are great. Like, this movie is it was amazing. It was amazing.
It was really good.
So, Jason, great job.
Yeah.
If you want to come on the podcast, let us know.
You should have. He would probably do it if you guys asked him. He's really good about that.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, I would put the word out there. I would try. And
maybe we should tweet out to Jen Lilly, like, major coverage on this top 10 list.
Well, yeah, I think she'd love it. I mean, you guys are really the super fans of Jen Lilly.
That's right.
She stole our hearts. I mean,
she did. She's so cute. I defy anyone to not think she's adorable. All right. So my number 2 is All for Love. I thought this was really refreshing and different. I really thought the leads were different than you typically see. Sarah Rue, so good. I've always loved her. And Steve Bassett, because he's usually a bad guy. So it was sort of fun to have him in this role. And I thought he was just kind of cute. I thought he was this tough, gruff guy, but then he had this sweet side. Like when he's trying to bring up the nerves to talk to her, and he just can't do it, and they actually don't have him do it, which was interesting. And so he has to write her this letter. And so that was really great. I thought the scene where he's teaching her how to swim was really cute. And I liked what's her Terrell Rothery, I think is the name of her boss.
Oh yeah.
She was good, really good. Also his sister, and all the training stuff was very funny. They got some physical comedy that made you laugh, and also him trying out yoga was very funny. I thought. So I don't know. That's what I have at 2.
I also love that I feel like they definitely stole the pictures they took of him in this movie and used it as the dead husband in Coming Home for Christmas.
Yeah.
Or Home for Christmas, whatever was it? What one was it?
Yeah, Home for Christmas Day.
Home, is that what it is? There's like, there were 100 Christmas home movies this season.
Yeah, right.
But, you know, Home for Christmas Day, I'm pretty sure they just took it from this movie. It's so funny.
Yeah, it might have been Julie Benz's husband too. I can't remember in Christmas Homecoming.
Was it? I don't know.
I can't remember, but I remember you saying that it was him.
Like, I swear, I don't know who I could ask, like the prop master of that movie, I guess, but I'm pretty sure they just were like, snap, we'll use this in the future.
Yeah.
It's part of the Hallmark cinematic universe.
Yeah, I mean, I would love them to use these two again. It was just something fresh and different, and
yeah, and like you said, I love Sarah Rue. So Sarah Rue,
he's the best. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I have it too.
Okay.
What did you have it to, Ruth?
Well, again with the personal connections, but I mean. I literally did post on Facebook saying that, the TCAs the other night, I mean, half the people in the room I have some connection with.
That's so amazing.
Seriously, that's not just, and that's not making it up. That's honestly true. The executives know who I am, and I don't try to say that to be bragging.
No, I know.
Honestly, it amazes me. Because I'm just thinking, I'm just, in so many ways, Little Miss Nobody sitting over here. How is it that I know all these people and they think so highly?
Because you are the Ruth.
And you do such a good job in your interviews, so it's no wonder. So I think it's great. I think it's great you have a personal list. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, right. So The Perfect Bride was actually my number 2.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And the reason is I absolutely love Kevin and Pascal. I really
they're the best.
And I actually was interviewing Pascal right before the movie got announced. She couldn't tell me, but then by the time I posted the interview, they had just announced that day about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, but even beyond that, what I loved all the other brides. It's especially, and of course now her name escapes me. It's like, how could her name escape me? Because I interviewed her. But there's the one that says that she likes doing not sit-ups. What are they? Not curl.
Like crunches.
Yeah, thank you. Crunches. I couldn't think of the term. Thank you. And she says how she likes doing crunches, and all the other brides are like, "You're so crazy," and kind of like, "Who likes doing crunches?" I like doing crunches, and it was just and I'm not saying it was anything. It's not like some movie that's gonna win all sorts of awards and everything, but I find that when it comes back on, there's always something about Kevin that always captures my attention. It's like when he's on the screen, I don't know what it is, but it's like suddenly it'll come on. Like I remembered it just came on, and it's towards the end, and I'm just sitting there watching it all over again. It's because he's on the screen, and I don't. And it's just and having interviewed him now a couple times. I mean, especially this last time that I interviewed him, just I guess it's like the end of November or something. And, then I'd met them. I mean, they were so much fun to meet. I mean, they were so wonderful to meet at the convention and just such very lovely people. But Kevin is like so non-celebrity. Like, he doesn't even think he knows that he gets to act, but he doesn't think that he's like some great romantic lead or anything like that. He doesn't have that. He can't believe people are actually interested in what he has to say on social media. and so I'm not saying it was the absolute best movie ever, but I loved seeing them together.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that they're planning to do a sequel to it.
Oh, are they? I didn't know that.
They're in talks, yes, and they hinted at it at TCA that they were in talks. They were talking with the writer, and so that's
my problem was the Bridezilla in that I couldn't take her. She was too much for me, stealing somebody's wedding dress. And
I know, but and that was a hard part. But again, that particular actress, yeah, she was pretty mean, but it was a good role for that actress. Of course, I've interviewed that actress, and
I'm sure she's lovely. It just,
she likes to do roles like that. She likes.
Oh yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Oh, so fun.
Right. Because you don't always get that evilness in those Hallmark films. You don't always get, and so she really, it was. And also that one, do you guys know who Willie Ames is?
The name sounds familiar.
Okay. Well, you did see him. If you like Harvest Moon with Jesse Hutch, he played Jesse Hutch's, or not Jesse Hutch's dad, Jesse Shrem's dad.
Oh yeah, from 8 is Enough.
Yes.
I love.
Okay.
Yeah.
In The Perfect Bride, Willie Ames' wife has a tiny little role as one of the. And it was so cool. And I'm watching for it. It's like, oh, there she is. And I was like, oh, I got to see her. And, because she just is like one of the sales ladies or something, and she has this tiny little role. It's like, there she is.
That's funny, huh? That's a deep cut there. That's good. That's very good. Cool. Oh, that's good. So, what did you have at 2, Amber?
So my number 2 was A Harvest Wedding.
Oh.
I mean, I really loved it. I love Jill Wagner. She's incredible. I didn't know I loved her until this year. I wasn't a fan of the cookie.
Right.
Plant.
I wasn't either, so that's okay.
And it has Andrea Brooks and Victor Webster and, Jeremy Gilbot, who I love and I'm obsessed with, and Marcus Rosner. It just kept going of people that I love. So it was good. And then it was just really cute and fun. And I mean, the sci-fi ending was a little weird for me. I'm going to admit it. But everything else about it was so good.
Yeah. It's sci-fi. That's funny.
It was sci-fi because it is science that is not yet capable. So therefore, it is science fiction.
Okay.
But that was the only way they could get the country boy into the city.
Also, what is that rooftop? The TARDIS? Because you can see the field going on for 45 miles. They zoom up and they're on a 20 by 20 roof. Anyway, but I still loved it. I loved
it. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. So yeah, that was really good. Harvest Wedding is very, very, very well done. I agree. Good choice.
You guys haven't had Andrea Brooks on the show, right?
No. We've only interviewed 2 actors so far. We had Jesse Hutch, who was amazing, and Paul Campbell, who's amazing.
Right.
I'm pretty sure anyone we interview will be amazing, but
yes. Yeah, you need to reach out to Andrea because I know she'd do it. I know she would.
All right. We'll have to. Yeah. Okay, so now we're at number 1. This is so exciting. Yeah. So my number 1, you probably guessed, is A Dash of Love. And I debated because I do think actually the All for Love and the Birthday Wish are better executed, as far as scripts and everything. For me, the problem I have with A Dash of Love is I think that the idea that a father who's a baker would become completely estranged from his son because he chooses to become a chef is sort of ridiculous. But it's so romantic and it's so great in every other way. I just have to be okay with that.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna fight you.
Okay.
They didn't become estranged because he wanted to do things that weren't baking. They became estranged because he's like, I want to do things other than baking. I'm not going to be at your business. And I want to be like, Brendan Penny, you can bake and do other things while having the business.
No, but it seemed like it was the dad that was the one who was sort of like him and his highfalutin cooking, like he's going to judge me or something like that. Like, it seemed like the dad was the one causing the estrangement, not the Brendan Penny character to me.
The men of the DeLucci family are proud men.
Like, there's really not that big a difference between baking and cooking. Like, they should be
Rachel,
able to work this out.
How dare you? First of all, baking and cooking are two different genres of Hallmark movies.
All right.
Yeah, I know. But I was able to put that aside because I love it so much, and I love Jen Lilly so much in it, and I love the two of them together, and I love the way their relationship grows, and I love all of her weird little, like, ice cream cone chicken and, like, crazy, like, it's kind of like what the Christmas Cottage guy was doing, but, like, actually sounded yummy.
Yeah,
And,
like ice cream cone chicken is just like chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
Let's eat that. Let's do it.
Yeah, and I really liked I really liked the ending. They got like a whole. I mean, this is perfect for me. They got like a whole room with like hearts and cupids and glitter and like magic, and that they dance in. So good. And you know, he basically apologizes for being a jerk, and they have that great ending where he reveals that they've gotten the store and they got the critic back. I really liked having Perry Gilpin as her idol boss.
Yeah,
that was so good. When she goes up to,
so excited, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
She's so mean.
Yeah, when
so good.
You know, I love an epic quit, and so like when she goes up to her and is like, "You were my hero in every sense of the word, and you cannot squash my spirit." It's like, yeah, you tell him, Jet Lily. It's so good. And yeah, so I just love it. I think it's so good. It's so romantic.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. We love it.
So that's my number one is Dash of Love.
All right.
So Ruth, let the suspension end. What's your number one?
My number one is Signed, Sealed, Delivered, Higher Ground.
Oh,
nice. That is my top one.
Nice.
For a lot of the reasons that you guys have suggested, I've been apostable from the very beginning. I was the one who gave up many Sundays trying to get a season 2, creating all sorts of collages and just filling it with all sorts of stuff, trying to get a season 2. And then when they started to go the route of the movies, it was okay. I was like, okay, that's all right. I mean, I'm good with that. And the nice thing is, I can say I've interviewed all 4 leads, and so that was exciting. I had to work very hard to get Eric. The other 3 were fairly easy in many ways, but I had to work very hard to get an interview with Eric. But it was so cool. I absolutely love all of the Signed, Sealed, Delivered movies, and so, but not that Home Again was not good, but Higher Ground, I loved that Katrina story. That was so neat. And then of course, finally seeing Rita and Norman get engaged. I mean, thinking how long that's been. Is it ever gonna happen?
Yeah.
And and just I think what's so cool about that, in fact, my mom was saying the same thing about, because we absolutely love the Signed, Sealed, Delivered movies, is that they're taking things slowly. I know sometimes people want them to speed up, but the fact that they're going slowly is allowing us, I think, to have more movies.
Yeah.
Because I think if they went faster, I don't know if we would keep having all the movies. Because part of it has been we're waiting, and okay, finally Rita and Norman together. Now we want to get Shane and Oliver together, but we know that they'll eventually get together. We know that eventually they will, but it's just the process of how they get there. And
it's a good pick. It's just so adorable.
Yeah.
So
the only reason why it's not higher on my list is because Shane was gone for so much of it, and I really missed the chemistry of all of them working together. So that's the reason why it's lower, you guys.
I understand.
Do you have a favorite of all of the Signed, Sealed, Delivered movies, Amber?
Ooh, that's tough. So this is the thing about it. I think there is maybe a couple of episodes from the series that I like more than the movies. Like, it's my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
the Christmas one is really good. I think.
Oh, the Christmas one's so good. They're just all so good.
Yeah. All right, Amber. What's your number one?
Okay, my number one, and I'm very happy to say it because I know Rachel's going to completely disagree with me, but I already know Ruth agrees, is The Perfect Bride.
Oh,
I was like dying, trying not to say anything. But because I was like, oh my gosh, I love it so much, it's amazing. During yours, it would have spoiled the fact that it was my number one.
Yeah.
But I love it. Their chemistry is so adorable.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that the misunderstanding of her being like, oh my gosh, we're going on a date, I'm so excited, and him being like, we're gonna do business, seems super natural. Like it didn't seem forced at all, and it just made perfect sense why there would be that confusion. I don't usually like Leanne Lapp. She just kind of like, but she's always the bad person, the bad girl, or whatever.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed her in this movie. I mean, for Pete's sake, guess who else is in this movie? Casey Manderson, MVP of 2017. So, I mean, this movie was so fun for me. So yeah, I just really liked it. And unlike Rachel, I super really loved his like bad fiance who was terrible.
Right.
And I loved how they never crossed the line while he was still with her. I just like super appreciate people being faithful.
Yes.
I don't know. It was so great. I really just loved everything about it.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I couldn't take her, but I can see why other people would like it. And they are super charming. They have great chemistry for sure.
Their chemistry is insane.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, everyone knows how much I love Rosemary and Lee. I mean, they Rosemary and Lee have kept me invested in When Calls the Heart when I have long since wanted to be like, oh, I just don't like anyone except for Henry Gowan.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I hear you.
So, but they're amazing. They're basically the best in the whole world.
Yeah.
And
so you didn't think her stealing the dress was too far?
Of course it was too far. she got her comeuppance, which was losing Kevin Smith.
Yeah, exactly.
Ruth, we don't know. Have you heard about our firehouse idea? We got to get you on board promoting this too.
Okay.
So we have this idea that we get, because we don't think that the Hallmark is using the man well enough. They always lead with the women. Right. And so what we have this idea is you have a movie about dueling firehouses with all the hunky Hallmark men, and you can have them having a pancake cook-off where they're battling back and forth.
Okay, and wait, I thought of this today while I was talking to some guy at work about it.
New development.
So there's obviously been a long-standing rivalry between the two firehouses, right? Mm-hmm. And the chief of one of the other one firehouse has a daughter who likes one of the young firemen from the other house.
Oh my God.
So it can be like Romeo and Juliet.
Like who wouldn't watch that? Like, right? You could have Paul Green, you could have all of our favorites. It would be great.
It would be so good.
Yeah.
That sounds like a winning idea to me. And
you can't tell me that every single woman in the history of Hallmark television watching wouldn't buy that DVD immediately.
Yeah.
I would probably have to like buy it, even if it was only available streaming. I'd probably go buy it streaming and and watch it every day. I mean,
you'd save it on the DVR long time.
Could you even imagine? Like, and then I was thinking also, so it could be like the annual 4th of July pancake breakfast. So obviously it would be a Summer Nights movie.
You could have Paul Campbell and Paul Green and Jesse Hutch. I mean, it would be great.
It would be great. And Casey Manderson.
Andrew Francis.
Yeah, well, yeah. Casey Manderson be like the MC or something like that.
It would be so funny. It would actually be so funny if you had all of the guys who are always the bad guys in one firehouse and all of the guys who are always the lead in the other firehouse.
That would be really good. I'd totally watch that.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah. So we got to get you on board, helping us. Because I already told Nina about it, so she was pumped.
Okay.
She said, she said you had me at Hallmark Huggy Men.
Well, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I know. I have my own. I now have 4 screenplay ideas.
Ooh.
That I'm planning to write my first screenplay this year, and hopefully send it to Hallmark, and so we'll see.
Couldn't hurt. Have fun. It's fun to write. I do NaNoWriMo every year just for fun.
Yeah.
But cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on with us and sharing us your awesome top 10 list. It was so good. I learned about ones I didn't know about, so that was really fun.
Yeah, Rachel doesn't like mysteries.
Oh.
Yeah.
Rachel hates mysteries. She only likes to just know.
I'm not a big mystery fan. I love Sherlock Holmes, but that's about where I end on mysteries.
Oh.
But I'm trying. I watched I thought the Aurora Teagarden was much better than the Emma Fielding, personally.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mm.
Well, yeah. I think because Aurora Teagarden, they've also been doing them a lot more. I think that the actors are finally starting to find their feet in Emma Fielding,
Which is more fun. Like there was like a jump and there was some scares. And,
right.
I don't know.
Right, because the first Emma Fielding was not as good as the second one. The second one was better because the characters are starting to find their way.
Okay.
And I think it's so yeah. With Aurora Teagarden, if you've seen the first Aurora Teagarden,
no, I've just
so if you see
started.
the first one, you would see a definite difference between the way the characters interact now. Because in the first one, I liked it, but I wasn't always sure that they really knew where they were headed. And Candace was a lot different. When she came back in the second one, it was like, oh, she's figured out who she is, kind of, I think. They figured out her character, shall I say.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone, but it's not my favorite genre. But there you go. So anyway, I really appreciated your list. It was really fun. Thanks for joining us.
I honestly, your guys' list, I had no problems with. I mean, I think that many of your favorites, I might have had them a little bit lower down, but I had no problem with your list. I mean, you guys had great choices as well, honestly.
Yeah. We all have really good opinions.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
We do. So Ruth, where can people find you?
You can find me. My blog address is mydevotionalthoughts.net. And then you've got Twitter and Instagram, and even YouTube. Ruth Hill 74 is my username, and on Facebook, My Devotional Thoughts. I've got a Facebook page also.
Cool. Well, we'll have links to that in the description section.
Okay.
And I'm just
You wanna
going to
check
say
that out?
to people, I think pretty sure the Venn diagram of people who read your blog and listen to our podcast is just a solid circle. And then obviously not all the people who read your blog listen to our podcast, but I'm pretty sure all the people who listen to our podcast read your blog. But if you don't, really, her interviews are so great. So.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You should.
Thanks.
Definitely.
More are coming. I have, just as a tease, I've got an interview posting with Jack Turner, who's in the movie.
Ooh.
I've interviewed him before, but I've got an interview that I'll be posting before the movie on Saturday. So watch out for that. I'd like to see him featured more, I'll be honest. And not always featured with the same actress. It would be really nice to see him featured with, and nothing against her. I'm not saying anything against Taylor Cole. I'm not. Okay. And I know where you guys stand with her, so I'm not going to say anything.
Well, just particularly me. Amber's ambivalent.
Okay.
I'm I'm like neutral to she was in my top 10 for Christmas. So
Yeah, there you go.
That's true. That's true. So I'm just saying that I like Jack Turner. I really do enjoy him, and I would like to see him featured more than just, every couple years in a movie with Taylor Cole.
Maybe we
really
can get him
nice
in the Firehouse movie.
He would be phenomenal in that.
I mean, can you imagine? Okay, not only could we do this Firehouse movie, but Hallmark Channel could release as cross promotion a fireman calendar with all of these guys in it. It doesn't have to be like set. Like if it was just like a picture of Kevin Smith being like, I'd buy that. Even if it was just 12 months of Kevin Smith being, I would buy that.
Pretty much.
Well, I tell you, Jack Turner talking with his English accent is, and then the way he looks. I'm watching him in a Lifetime movie right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And so.
Sounds good. Yeah, this weekend we have One Winter's Night or something.
Winter Weekend, I think.
It's One Winter Weekend, and I'm so upset because I thought we were gonna get our first ever two persons of color movie. I was so excited, and then all of a sudden I felt like I got bait and switched, and it was just about Taylor Cole.
I know, me too.
Okay, but you guys are watching more. You're gonna watch Morning Show Murders, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I am also interviewing Jordana, who actually was in All for Love. Jordana Largy.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
She played the person. She played like the friend. She played
Well, I think the girl who's the African American girl in this Winter's Dream. I think she was in Christmas Getaway.
Yeah. Rakia's been in a lot of Hallmark stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, she was good.
I've interviewed her too. She's an awesome woman.
She was really good. So Amber, where can people find you?
Oh, sorry. We got totally distracted.
I know.
So as always, people can find me. I'm at Amber Brainwaves on Twitter, and that's it.
Awesome. And you can find me at Rachel at Smiling LDS Girl on social media and at Rachel's Reviews on iTunes and YouTube. You should check that out. And I am going to be diving headfirst into the Sundance Film Festival all this next week. And so I will have hopefully daily updates on my other channel of all the fun stuff that I'm seeing. And so you definitely, if you're interested in film, check that out.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
It's going to be fun. So,
okay.
All right. Well, thanks so much again, Ruth, for joining us. And we're not 100% sure what we're going to be doing next week, but it'll be awesome, whatever it is. So make sure you tune in. And thanks again. And we will see you all. We will see you all soon. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.